that was definitely my first book-related scam. Hi, my name is Jennifer E. Smith, and I'm here today to talk about my newest book, The Creature of Habit Tries His Best, which is right behind me. It's a sequel to the previous book called The Creature of Habit, and I'm very, very excited to talk to you about it today. I'm very excited about it. It is a sequel to The Creature of Habit, which was about a creature who lives on the island of habit and does the same thing every day at the same time until one day a little creature sails up and knocks his whole world off balance. And in this new book, now that the creature has had a little bit of a taste for stepping off the path, he goes on a bit of an adventure with the little creature, and they sail to another island where there are all sorts of new things that he's never encountered before and new things to try. And he tries climbing a tree, he tries balancing on a log, and he eventually tries riding a bike. And throughout the course of the book, what he realizes is A, that trying is really hard, and B, that he is a creature of habit, which means he is known for sticking with things, and that trying isn't in the end all that different than sticking with something. So he decides that rather than trying to be the best at riding a bike, he's going to be the best at trying to ride a bike. So that's basically what that book is about. I've been writing for a really long time. My first book came out in 2008, and I'm probably most known for my young adult novels. Also, my more recent books have been novels for adults. But I will say that having been in publishing since 2008, I have never had as much fun as I have writing picture books. This is such a joy, both the writing of the book itself, the seeing it paired with pictures. I'm so grateful to the brilliant Leo Espinoza who illustrated both of these books. And then to get to speak with kids of this age, it is just such a pleasure. I am used to standing nervously in front of classes of high school students and adult book clubs, and to go speak with like kindergartners and first graders who ask questions like, do you like turtles? It's just been really, really fun and such a joy. So the idea for this book, much like the idea for the first Creature of Habit book, came from one of my nephews who is just a complete creature of habit. And I noticed with him that when it came time to learn to ride a bike, he had a hard time with it because he really prefers to do things that he's either already good at or that he's immediately good at. And I think that's not just specific to kids. I think a lot of adults are that way too, that the trying to learn something, that whole process, which can be very humbling and hard on the ego, is not as much fun as being good at something. And I watched him just have a really slow start with the bike riding because every time it was time to go out and practice or try it again, he just didn't feel like doing it. And until one day, after much coaxing and wobbling and falling off and trying again and again, he went to do it and it finally clicked. And as he was riding around the driveway in circles with this huge smile on his face, he turned and called over his shoulder, turns out I like riding a bike, and it just made me laugh because it's such a universal feeling, and once you've gotten good at something, you're all the way in. So that's really where the idea for this book came from. So if I had to describe this book in 3 words, I would say that it's funny. It's inspiring, I hope, to kids who are trying something new, and it is beautiful. Again, I just can't say enough about the illustrations by Leo Espinoza. They're gorgeous, and I think this one is even better than the first. My rating is inspired by all sorts of different things, and I think with each book, it's a little bit different, and different experiences I've had come into play, different questions I'm asking myself, different things I want to tackle. But with these picture books in particular, what's really fun is that I have a 2-year-old. I wrote these books before he was born, both of them, but right now I'm reading so many picture books. I'm discovering new ones. I'm reading classics that I read when I was a kid, and it has just been so much fun to do that with him. And this will be the first book that I will have had published since he was born. And the fact that it's one that I get to share with him is really incredibly special. And I can't wait to read it with him. He loves the first one, especially the page where the little creature drops a coconut on the big creature's head. And I have already informed him that this new one is his favorite book. And so hopefully he will agree. Libraries have impacted my life and my career so much, I think, like most writers. When I was a kid, I spent so much time at the library, and my mom would drop me off, not to date myself, with like a little bag full of change so that I could call her from the payphone in the library when I was ready to be picked up. But of course, I was never ready to be picked up because I would get lost in books and I would just be in the like depths of the children's section, curled up on a beanbag chair, reading for ages. So inevitably, she would call the librarian, and the librarian would have to come find me and send me out to get picked up. But my mom never asked for the change back. And then once or twice a year, our local library would have a big used book sale where they would sell books for like 25 cents, 50 cents, a dollar, and I would use all that change to buy books. So that was definitely my first book related scam. But in general, I've been so supported by librarians throughout my career. As I was saying, my first book was published in 2008. I have written picture books, middle grade, YA, and adult, and librarians have stuck with me through all of those different types of books. I just think anybody whose job it is to get the right book in the hands of the right person at the right moment is just the best thing you can do. And I know that that is particularly a challenge these days in certain places, and also more vital than ever these days. So I'm grateful to librarians. The kid who was a reader and the adult who was a reader and me now as a writer, I can't think of a more important job. And I'm very grateful. And I hope you all love this book as much as you loved the first one. And thank you for all the support.